All righty, we should be ready for Coach G questions.
Hey, Coach, congrats on the win. What's it like for a coach to be on the sidelines in those PK situations when it's completely in the players' hands?
Well, we say all the time how soccer is a player's game, more so than football and basketball, where the coach has timeouts and can control momentum and everything else. With this, we're completely dependent on a bunch of teenagers running out there on a really hot day, and I couldn't be prouder of our girls. I thought that they were poised the entire time. They played with confidence the entire time, and good for Jordan Burbank to step in and be the hero in goal, and then our freshmen again come through with more goals when it counts to make it work again. So really exciting. I'm glad I took my blood pressure medicine this morning.
Was that a PK lineup that you had kind of arranged beforehand, or was there any alterations with how the game played out?
No, that was the plan all the way through. Got to give Lori Stevenson a lot of credit for being the person who's super organized behind the scenes. She and I have been watching our penalties that we've been practicing for the last couple months, every day for the last couple months, and she was the one who gave me the final lineup, and I absolutely agreed with it, and good for our young ladies to go out there and make it work.
Going back to regulation, I know y'all had 38 shots on goal, and you knew that you're going to go against a counterattacking team. At that point, would you have liked to seen them be a little bit more clinical on some of those opportunities for it to not have to go that far?
Of course. I mean, I think for us, I was joking because I was hoping that they were going to at least get tired enough that they couldn't hit the ball over the top of the goal anymore, because we just kept missing the target so much. A little bit of that is, again, you look at the pros and cons of such a young team that we have, and that's one of the things that might come out of it, and it's hopefully something that we'll learn from, and we'll talk about from a technical standpoint, but also just a confidence standpoint, that we just kind of keep plugging away and force their goalkeeper to have to make saves instead of just go and get the ball behind the goal.
And then when you got into 2 overtime periods, with that counterattacking play and how good they had been under attack for most of the game, the red card might have actually kind of suited them a little bit better, at least to get to penalty kicks. It made space a little bit harder for y'all to find. Is that what y'all saw?
Well, yeah. I mean, once the red card came, I mean, you got to give Oklahoma State, I mean, all the credit in the world. Colin and Justin, and they just do a really good job of keeping that team organized, and they play to the strengths of the players that they have. Coleman up front is a handful, and she was able to turn and run away from us the one time and scored to put them ahead. But once that red card came, they were clearly trying to get to penalty kicks. They knew that it was just a matter of time for us until we finally got the dam to burst. But good for them. Also, it's kind of like the Alamo with a time limit. You can't just completely put them under siege. The clock is going to work in their favor.
Thanks, Coach.
Coach, when you look back, I know you've been doing this for a while, where does that game rank in your mind as some of the best games you've ever been a part of?
It's right up there, and it's one of the reasons is because it's against a team that we have so much respect for. The background that we have playing Oklahoma State annually in the Big 12. This is the first time that we'd ever played them in an NCAA game. We were set to play them in this round last year, but we both got knocked off in the round before. So I think when you talk about the amount of respect that we have for them, I think that adds an extra degree of oomph to the victory.
And then lastly, Coach, when PKs are going on, what are you doing on the sidelines? Are you pacing back and forth? How do you?
No, I'm communicating hand signals with our goalkeeper, and trying to basically just stay calm. There's other people out there that they can't watch, they can't look. Um, I'm completely confident in what our girls are going to do. They were practicing for this moment, and they stepped up and did it.
Awesome. Thanks, Coach.
Coach, with such a young team, what does this mean that now they get to the quarterfinals of the NCAA tournament?
Well, I think this is a huge win. This is our 7th time now to get to the Elite Eight. I mean, if we were baseball or softball, this is the World Series that we're going to. And we're gonna enjoy this definitely for the rest of tonight. The next couple of days are going to be about recovery, but I want these players to understand that they've done something really special. This is we've said all the time that with a team where you're starting 8 underclassmen in your first 11, it's they know what they know and they don't know what they don't know. And maybe the pressure wasn't that great on them because it wasn't the last game of their career. The only person who had to step up with that type of pressure was Taylor Ziemer, who scored a goal and was able to step up and bury a penalty kick, a great penalty kick, to get us started.
Thank you.
Hi, Coach. Jennifer Streeter with Texas Ags. Congratulations on the win. Obviously,
Thank you.
one of the positives and negatives to soccer is chaos, and this was certainly a very chaotic game for you guys. Just kind of, I guess I'll just piggyback off of that question. How did you kind of feel just standing there on the sidelines, just watching everything unfold?
Well, number one, we felt like we were in control, but at the same time, the way that Oklahoma State plays and the way that we knew they played and the way that we prepared the team, saying, listen, we can't play a square ball and across the midfield, they're going to break on it. Well, they did. They scored. That's how they scored the second goal. You can't bite on this ball because they'll play it in behind to 42. Well, that's how they scored the first. That's how they got the first goal. But the fact that we were able to just kind of keep them under pressure with our possession, I thought that we played really well. And it's the last shot, the last pass maybe wasn't there, but OSU it was so crowded in their penalty area that it became really, really difficult to get any kind of open space to hit a shot. And then when we did, their goalkeeper made a few spectacular saves, and it ended up being just a tooth and nail type of game. And I'm really, really pleased that it was the Aggies who showed their fortitude to come through and win it.
Absolutely. And then, things kind of got started off with a bang. Neither team, none of y'all wasted any time. How do you think the kind of intensity was at the start of the match and throughout?
It was, we both know each other very well. So I think both teams were very prepared for what the other team was going to do. I was particularly pleased with the tempo that our team was able to play at, and we talked about that a lot. That we wanted to keep the ball and move the game, and for the most part, we were able to do that. We had a couple people, who didn't have their best game, but we had a few that did. I mean, Allie Russell, that was her best game. Jai Smith came in and had a fantastic game. It was a great game for all of our defenders, especially Carlina and Katie Smith. So, it's gosh, I saw something. I mean, it was an epic game. It's one of those all-time greats in NCAA soccer history.
Absolutely. And then second to last question for you. We saw a lot of fouls tonight. I believe it was 26 total, 13 for each team, and a red card. Obviously determining who the quarterfinal is. Can you kind of touch on the aggression in today's game?
I think that the referee was just calling a really tight game, and we know that referee. He really is a great referee. We've had him. This is our 4th time that we've had him this season, and he always does a great job of controlling the game. He was just calling it super tight, and I mean, there was several times that I was kind of asking him. I go, well, "What was that?" And that was both fouls that we were called for, but also fouls that they were called for. So he was just trying to make sure that it didn't get out of hand. And then as the game goes on and fatigue starts to play in, fouls are going to happen just because you're a half step step late getting to a ball, you reach in and you end up taking somebody down. But yeah, the red card, Lainey Carroll did a great job as far as setting that up, as far as getting herself into space, turning that player. And the kid knew that she was in trouble, so she took her down, and that is a yellow card, and she already had one yellow card.
Yes, of course. And then last question for you, and it's an easy one. How good does it feel to go into the quarterfinals for the first time since 2015?
Well, it all runs together. I say all the time, I'm the luckiest guy you know, and this is just a part of that I get a chance to be with, a coaching staff that does such an outstanding job. Phil Stevenson, Lori Stevenson, Nathan Kogut did a great job in this. But to be around these girls is just, it's so much fun. It is so much fun to be with this particular team. And the cool thing about college sports, every year is a different team. Well, this team has now just proved that they are very elite.
Absolutely. Thank you, Coach G. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Hey, Coach, congratulations on the win. I know a lot of the time when the other team strikes first, teams and players can become very demoralized and almost fall into a slump just from that. What was your team's mindset to not only fall into that slump, but to come back and score 2 unanswered goals to take the lead going into the half?
Well, that was part of what I started our halftime talk out, started the halftime talk with today, was just how proud I was of them, that they didn't allow that to happen. They didn't get their head down just because they went down. We had outshot them 7-0. They come down, take one shot and score. And our players just put their foot right back on the gas, and it didn't phase them. Even when we went down 3-2, it didn't phase them at the end. We made a couple little changes to try to put a little bit more pressure on OSU, but the players were, they're rock steady. This is like I said, it is an elite group, and it's a special group of people that have come from some really cool households and some backgrounds in our sport.
Thank you so much. And then lastly, this is y'all's first Elite Eight appearance since 2015. What's your team's mindset going in, and how are you just feeling getting ready to play?
Well, right now it's just a matter of us recovering and enjoying. For the rest of today, this is a long day. I'm behind the North Carolina goal right now as they're playing against Washington in the other Sweet 16 game. We're going to play the winner of this particular match. For our girls now, they've gone back to the hotel, and they will just kind of recover. These are the most fun times. If you're a player, the best times are after a game with your teammates, slap on the back, laughing, enjoying what you guys just did, especially when they've done something as special as this. This is why sports is so cool. These are the things, this is something that these girls are going to have in their lockers for the next 60 years. And it's something that, again, I'm lucky to be a part of.
Thank you so much. Congrats again on the win.
Thank you.
Coach, one more before you go. Was there much of a debrief between you and Colin after an all-timer like that, or how do y'all talk, or what was the conversation after something like that?
Well, they're like, hey, go on and win it now. So he and Phil Stevenson, our associate head coach, every time we play, this goes back years, there's usually a chocolate bar on the, I think they call it the chocolate cup or something along those lines. And he was like going, the chocolate's melted today. There's no chocolate today. I was like, yeah, it's a hot chocolate day, because it is, you guys aren't here, but it's a really, really still humid day. 82 degrees, I think, is what it is right now. And he was nothing but complimentary and nothing but gracious. He knew that just as easily it could have gone his way, and they'll use this for fuel. We go back to play them at their place on September 12th this coming fall. So we'll enjoy this, and then we know we got some payback coming towards us in a few months.
That's awesome. Hey, 38 shots and 3 goals. You're treating me to a Leeds game. Thanks, Coach.
Well, if you want to equate us with Bielsa, I would take that in a heartbeat. Thank you.
Okay, we have Taylor Ziemer ready to go.
Hey, Taylor. How kind of a marathon of a game? What are the emotions as you kind of ride that roller coaster through the middle of it, and then at the end with that victory?
I mean, we're so happy. We're so proud. Obviously, it's awesome to win a game like that and to move on to the Elite Eight. We knew it was coming. We knew we were going to win that game. We were confident. We outplayed them. We outshot them. So, yeah, we're feeling really good. But, you know, we knew it was going to happen. We knew we were going to pull it out. And, yeah, we're looking on to the next and ready to keep moving.
Playing a counterattacking team, is that a little bit frustrated? Because y'all probably knew you were going to get your opportunities to attack, but with so many people behind the ball, hard to get quality shots, and then they can strike at any moment.
Yeah, it is. It's difficult sometimes mentally because it sometimes feels like it's your game to lose. You know, you're creating a bunch of chances, you have the ball, and they're just waiting for you to give it up or to make a mistake, which is going to happen inevitably. And then that's their time to kind of counter and score, which happened. But yeah, I mean, that's also part of the best games. You know, we were in control of that game the entire time. We had the tempo, we controlled chances. We were in their half knocking on their door. And even though, you know, it didn't happen, we had 29 shots and we only had 3 goals. We've come out of that game feeling really good about how we played and about the chances we created. And yeah, there's some things to tweak and some things to sharpen up on, but we're feeling really good for our next game.
I know when fans see a red card come out, they get excited because man down, but with how they were playing and with how many people they were keeping behind the ball normally, was it even a little bit more difficult to find space and to find those opportunities as you got into like that second overtime period because they were parking the bus?
I mean, a little bit it is. They did park the bus, but I think in both overtimes, we had a ton of chances. We worked it through the midfield. You know, I mean, we should have scored. We had a lot of chances and yeah, it's hard the way they played. They were looking to go to PKs. I mean, and if I was them, I would have been looking to go to PKs too. You know, we had a lot of chances and we were up man. But yeah, you know, you take it as it is. I think we did really well. And all that we need is that last thing, that little, you know, a couple inches off goal or just that last thing. We were almost there so many times. So it's really promising, you know, the way we played.
I know y'all didn't want to take it to PKs, but then when you, in hindsight's 2020, when you win in PKs, does that make it just a little bit more special?
You know, it's the same amount of special. It's awesome to win in PKs, but we would have loved to finish it at any point. We could have finished it at any point. And yeah, it's awesome. You know, it's a high to win in PKs and to run onto the field like that. But you know, we'll take it. We'll take it any way we can get it.
Thanks so much.
Taylor, what does it mean for you guys as players to be able to say now you're headed to the Elite Eight?
It's awesome. I mean, the Elite Eight is the eight elite teams in the country. So, you know, that's pretty good company. And yeah, we're really proud. We're really happy. And this season has been very interesting and very difficult. And so to kind of have this to top it off and to still be fighting and to still be playing, we're honored. We're so happy and we're really proud of all the work that we've put in this season.
Coach G was talking to us and says that right now, this is the best time for players. You've just won a big match. You're back at the hotel. Your teammates are kind of celebrating. Kind of take us through, what is it like for you players coming off this big win?
Oh, I mean, you feel so good. We rode home on the bus and I probably said like 8 times, I can't believe we won. Thank goodness. You know, you just keep realizing it over and over that you pulled that big game out. And yeah, we're back there eating barbecue and feeling good. Spirits are high. We're really excited and we're really happy to still be here.
Thank you.
Hi, Taylor. Jennifer Streeter with Texas. Congratulations on the win. I just have one question for you, and I was wondering if you could kind of walk me through that moment for you emotionally when you scored that equalizer at 1-1.
Okay, so I probably couldn't even tell you how it happened. I think it was a free kick. I don't even remember. I was so into the game, and sometimes, you know, that's how it is. You're just reacting. You're so in the zone that you don't even exactly know what happened. But I was by the keeper. I saw her drop it down and I just slid for it and I poked it in the goal. And, you know, it wasn't a beautiful dribble past a bunch of people. It wasn't beautiful technically, but sometimes those goals are the best. You know, it's gritty, it's work ethic, and we just got it in and we knew it was coming. We had so many shots, so many chances. we knew it was coming. And so, yeah, it feels good, especially to get a goal like that after they'd scored so quick to kind of take the wind out of them. You know, they weren't going to run away with that game. We were right there in it. So, yeah, it was awesome.
Thank you, Taylor. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Hey, Taylor, I asked Coach this as well, but I just want to know what comes next for your team. You've already touched on the Elite Eight, but what is your really mindset as you get ready to just take on what may be your biggest challenge yet for the season?
You know, we're going to wait and see who we play. We're going to watch this game, try to recover as much as we can while we're here. You know, we'll scout the next team, and we're just going to, you know, watch video and try to improve ourselves as much as we can in the small amount of time that we have. As I said before, you know, this was an awesome game for us. We played really well. We created a lot of chances. So I think coming forward, we're feeling really confident in what we did. And there are some things that we can tweak. Maybe we can watch some film and see just, you know, how we can get a little bit better in places and work on it at the field. We've got a couple trainings to go. But yeah, at this point, we're recovering. We're learning from what we just did, and we're looking on to the next.
Awesome. And then lastly, about halfway through the second half, Oklahoma State was actually up by a goal. Was there any sort of pressure that you were feeling then, and how did the team come out and handle it?
I mean, there's always pressure when you're down a goal. There's pressure to score, especially when you've had so many chances and you haven't been able to put one away. But at the same time, you know, we were playing so well, and we knew it was coming. We brought it together after they scored their goal, and we said, hey, let's play our game. We fixed up a couple things, and it came just like we knew it would. So, you know, we are confident in the way that we play. We're confident in what we do. So we don't have to, when they score, when something happens, we don't have to change everything. We don't have to all of a sudden start kicking it long or whatever. You know, we play our game. We know it's coming. We're confident in what we're doing, and it came.
Thank you so much. Congrats on the win.
Thank you.
All righty, thanks again. Thank you, Taylor.
Thanks.
We're going to wrap it up with Lainey Carroll.
Hey, Lainey.
Hi.
Hey, so you got to start off. Walk through that last spot kick. What was going through your mind? Did you put it where you wanted it to? Just kind of walk through the whole few seconds.
Well, so it was weird. I felt really confident, honestly, going into the kick, getting up there, standing in line. Obviously, it's nerve-wracking, but I felt like I had like confidence about it. And then everyone started taking their shots, and I was like, this keeper is diving to my side consistently. And so I was thinking of switching my kick, got up to the spot, was honestly going to switch my kick back to my original kick that I used to take. I scored a PK earlier in the season. And I was going to go back to that original side. And then the keeper moved early, and I was like, I'm going to shoot this down the middle. And I thought that would be effective, and it worked. So
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. How frustrating, going back to the regulation, how frustrating is it to play a counterattacking team? Because I know it probably seems like you have all the possession, you have all the attack, you have all the chances, and then they can just get that one strike and go. And it's kind of, I mean, I know what y'all expected from them, but is it a frustrating kind of game to play in?
well, I mean, obviously it's frustrating just in the fact that we outshot them immensely. However, I think that they do what they do well. They attack and counterattack really well. So props to them on that. But I think we really created, and I think it's exciting to see, like, moving forward, we can put those away. And that's what's coming in our next game. And I think we're just going to build off of that. So while it is frustrating, it's also, there's room to grow for us.
When that red card came out in the second overtime, I know probably a lot of fans got excited, but with how many people they kept behind the ball through most of the game, did it close down some of the spaces a little bit in that second overtime period that y'all might have had beforehand?
They did drop numbers. They sat in, but I think that switch, like if we were to swing the ball from one side to the other, that was on almost every single time. And I think working on that, like moving forward, also in myself, like being vocal and calling for that and recognizing that, I think that was on a lot. So yes, while they definitely did drop in, I think we didn't change our game at all.
Cool. And then, what's the emotions? Is it a little, I know y'all would have rather put it away in regulation, but does scoring on the PK, especially being the PK score, does that make it just a little bit sweeter?
It was definitely exciting, but I gotta credit it all to the whole team. Like every single person going back, for us to be down, come back, be down again, come back. Like that really just says something about this team. And I think that's super exciting.
Thank you.
Of course.
Lane, what does it mean for this program to be back in the Elite Eight?
It's huge. We have gotten to the Sweet 16 a lot of times, but significantly less Elite Eight games. And I think that this goes to show that this team really has potential. Like we're not here to just be content with the Elite Eight. We're here to win it all. So we're going to go in and fight because we know that this is a huge deal.
Coach G told us that right now, this is the best time for players. You've just won a big game. You're back at the hotel with your teammates. You can celebrate. What is this like?
Exciting. My calves hurt. But other than that, we're eating barbecue. I think I heard Taylor say spirits are high. Everyone's excited. We were all joking on the bus. I just think it was a great time. Spirits were really high.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Anything else? All righty, we're gonna kick the shit out of them. I'll send this to you when we get there.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks, TD.